when we say we get to the ought, as Christians, we're trying to do what's right. We're trying to support the people who are on the right side of the issue. And you seem to be saying...
Hang on. When you say Christians, they have to support what's right.
Yeah.
How do Christians know what's right?
Well, okay. Well, in looking at what's right, we look at historical arguments, moral arguments,
Christian ethics,
spiritual continuity, shared moral principles. We also look at the fact that America is a force for good or on the good side in the world, and therefore there are bad guys trying to do us in, and their allies are going to be people that we oppose.
Yeah, okay, so I agree with you in a secular sense that those can be reasons.
Right, but secular reasons...
But you're a Christian. We're talking about whether or not Christians have a moral ought.
Well, Christians are also...
What is the specific moral ought a Christian has based on Christian ethics, our paradigm, our worldview, not the secular lens, not the secular view, the Christian view? Why do we have to support a Jewish state that could name Antichrist? Why?
Because, first of all, you can't make up your mind if it's a Jewish state or a secular state. You alternate both based on convenience.
Jewish,
in fact, you alternate it within the same
Jewish.
sentence.
Hang on, don't equivocate. This is pure equivocation. Do you agree with me that there's ethnic Jews and then there are religious Jews?
I agree with that.
Then don't equivocate and say, you can't figure out if it's a Jewish state or a secular state, because, Dinesh, it can be a secular Jewish state, can't it?
Israel was
Can it be a secular Jewish state, Dinesh?
Can
it be a secular Jewish state, Dinesh?
Israel...
Can it be a secular Jewish state?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Okay, now explain what you mean. What do you mean when you say Jews are safer outside of Israel? How are they safer?
Yeah, right now, at least in every Western nation, there's not a single Western nation that I can look at where Jews live and have lived for the last 40 years, where they're not safer inside of those nations than they are right now inside of the state of Israel.
You mean because there's a war going on?
Well, not just because there's a war going on, but because there's been a continuation of attacks of terror. In other words, from my view, and while I think this is irrelevant to the debate, I'll bite on it. From my view, it seems to me that Israel has not fulfilled its promise of safety for the Jewish people. It has not done so. And right now, you have more Jews who live outside of Israel than inside of Israel, and they're a lot safer than the Jews who live inside of Israel.
Right.
They are not fulfilling the promise of protecting their people group at all. In fact, they're relying on us to do it for them.
Well, it's a pretty astounding claim when Jews not only have, but to this day are, moving to Israel from all parts of the world, willing to endure the risks and dangers that they face in Israel. And here you are from the kind of comfort of Dallas lecturing Israel on whether it's doing an adequate job protecting the Jews who are voluntarily choosing to come there. There are American Jews who have moved to Israel.
What does that have to do with
anything? There is more danger for them. The reason that there's more danger...
Yes, there is more danger for them.
And the reason for that is that Israel is surrounded by Islamic fanatics.
No shit.
Yes, right. Okay.
So in this really dangerous country surrounded by Islamic fanatics, are they less safe or more safe there than in Western nations, Dinesh?
And are you...
Answer the question I asked like I've been answering yours. Dinesh, is it the case that these people who are in this desert completely surrounded by Islamic lunatics less safe there than they are in Western nations, yes or no?
Yeah, they are more safe in Western nations with fewer Islamic fanatics.
Why do I have to beat these things out of you when you just agree with me?
Because if a country based on a common identity in their own ancestral homeland it's like saying, I have a ranch, I'm surrounded by outlaws who want to burn down my ranch, rape my wife, kill my kids, and you go, well, why don't you then give up your homeland, give up your ranch? You're obviously safer if you move somewhere else. And I'm like, no, this actually is my homeland. I have every right to be here. And all I want is the right to fight back against these monsters who also hate you and declare you, America, to be their great Satan. I'm their little Satan. And you're pretending like you're doing us a massive favor.
You're giving me or describing all sorts of positions to me that I haven't given, which is hilarious. For one thing, let's use your ranch example.
Okay.
You're absolutely 100,000% correct. I have outlaws. They're all around my little ranch, right? It's my ranch. I got the deed. I'm fighting for that shit. Do I have a right to go over to my neighbor and demand that he help?
No.
No, wait,
No.
what?
Hold on.
Huh?
Hold on.
Wait, what?
Well,
Did you say no?
I said by itself, no. If your
By
ranch,
itself, no.
yeah. If the
Well,
ranch,
where
if
does the
your-
moral obligation here come in for the United States,
It
sovereign
comes-
nation,
it
and the
comes from the-
Christians, the Christians inside of it specifically? That's what we're talking about. The Christians. Where does their obligation come in to help the Jews in Israel do fucking anything? Where's the obligation for that? Where?
Well,
What?
Do you agree that the Iranian regime and the forces of Islam in the region are evil?
Sure.
Okay.
I believe that their ideology
Their
is
ideology
evil.
is
Here,
evil.
let's
And
do-
would you agree
let's
that
differentiate
Israel,
a couple of terms.
that in fighting to change, clean up, remake, transform the Middle East and produce... Hold on.
Hang on, I got to clarify one thing.
Yeah.
Just the terms. When you say evil, for me, evil, the doing of evil, would be moving away from participating in the energies of God and Jesus Christ. That's how I would differentiate what evil is from good. Good would be participating in those energies. So when you say the ideology of Islam, you don't believe Arabs are evil, right?
No.
You believe Islam, the ideology is evil, right?
Right.
Okay, Jews, from my perspective, that ideology is also evil.
Right, but I think we're talking about evil in two completely different senses. There is a
How?
sense in which heresy is evil, right? Because
Yeah.
it departs from the theological straight path. In fact, orthodoxy means a straight path. Heresy means a deviation.
Sure.
We're talking about evil in a more natural law sense, by which I mean
I don't
things
believe
like,
in natural law.
You don't believe in natural law?
No.
Okay, do you believe
I'm
in the
not
Ten
a natural law
Commandments?
proponent because I'm not a Catholic. Sure, the Ten Commandments are fine.
Do you believe that do you believe that to take a 5-year-old kid and forcibly transition that kid is evil?
Of course.
Okay. Now, is that the same as the kind of evil that you were describing when you were talking about Christian heresy? I mean, in other words, Judaism is a heresy, and that's one type of evil, I grant. I'm saying there's another type of evil.
I just want to make sure.
Murder is evil.
Yeah. I just want to make sure I got it right. So when you're making the differentiation, you're saying this is evil, and this is evil, and this is a lesser evil than this one.
I'm saying that this is a force for good in combating this evil.
Yeah, but you're still saying both are evil.
Well,
if you're
I'm
saying both are evils, you want us to support the lesser evil.
Well, I certainly do believe that. There are many cases of supporting the lesser evil.
But then aren't you admitting Jewish ideology is evil?
Well, I'm admitting that Jewish theology is a heresy, or at least
and that is evil.
It's evil in its rejection of Christianity. I agree with that. Theologically,
Perfect.
of course. But that's,
so you're just saying support evil to stop evil.
No.
Support evil and to stop evil. Perfect.
So the man who insisted that Israel is a secular state makes a convenient switcheroo and is now making Israel a theological state which is out of sync with Christianity. Go one way or the other. You're trapped on your own.
Actually, perfect. I love this trap.
Okay.
Is secular ethics evil?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, shit. You got me.
Right.
My point is, you can't look me in the eye and say that Protestant heresies led to the embrace of progressive ideology, but that Jewish heresies don't. And I can prove it to you. If you reject Jesus Christ, who is the source of all truth, what do you end up with? What do you end up with?
Let me say that even here in America, over the past 30 years...
This is not an answer to my question.
It is an answer. It is an answer. I have had a fair amount of experience with Orthodox Jews who have been fans of mine. They come up to me at events. Now, why are they fans of mine? They socially, politically, morally, they are to the right of me. They are totally against abortion. They are totally against LGBTQ.
So are Muslims.
And not only do they say it, they actually live it.
So do Muslims.
Hold on. So are the Muslims, correct. But what I'm getting at is that to argue that Judaism is itself responsible for secularism is stupid, because the most religious Jews are not secular at all.
Great.
They
then to argue... Let me
on
show
the
you
moral issues.
I'm going to show you how stupid this is. Argue that Protestantism is responsible for progressivism is stupid. Because out in the hallway, I met some Protestants, and they were really fucking based.
No. Hold on.
That is literally the
This
stupidest
is-
thing you've said tonight
this is
out of
pure
many
sophistry.
stupid things.
Okay.
No,
This is
you
pure
are saying to me, there are Orthodox Jews who are just super based, Andrew. They don't like abortion. They don't like LGBTQ. They don't like any of that degenerate stuff, right?
Right.
Okay. Can we agree that there's lots and lots of Protestants, including Episcopalians, who you say are responsible for the current state of progressive Enlightenment principles being enacted in this nation, who are super based and also don't like abortion,
Right.
and they also don't like LGBTQ. They don't like any of that. True or false?
Yeah, and those Protestants, those Protestants
Perfect.
fall into the Assemblies of God. They fall into the Baptist denominations, very different from the Unitarians, the Anglicans, the Presbyterians, and the Methodists. I mean, the reason
But
people...
you just said, you just got done saying, though, now you're in contradiction.
I'm saying that
the
the
second you say Episcopalians are responsible for this, but not some Episcopalians, you're making the same argument with the exception that I would. You're right. Judaism is also a heresy, therefore responsible for the integration of progressive values, especially in Israel, but not all of them. Great. What the hell have we established here? Except that heresies lead to progressive ideology across the board, which is why the church has always been against them. Not. I'm telling you that all heretical ideologies lead to secular progressive values because they don't hold the truth of Christ. If you don't hold the truth of Christ, you cannot know the truth, period. You, for instance, Dinesh, I'll give you an example of how it is you don't hold truth. You claim, for instance, that you would say that Jesus Christ isn't a Christian, right?
Jesus Christ can no more be a Christian than
Then Marx can be a Marxist.
Or Buddha could be a Buddhist, or Confucius could be a Confucian.
Yeah,
it is
great.
actually impossible.
Great. Is God omnipotent and omniscient?
Is God omnipotent?
Is God omnipotent and omniscient? Dinesh?
Yes.
Okay, great. Then that would mean that he saw Jesus' crucifixion at the same time that he made the earth. Is that the case?
Yes, that is the case.
Okay, well then great. And what did he determine at the very second the earth was made? Then if he saw the beginning of time and the end of time,
Yes.
as Jesus Christ was being crucified, what was Jesus Christ's purpose?
To come as the Redeemer of the world.
And is Jesus Christ God?
Yes.
Then Jesus Christ was a Christian. Thank you. That's what happens when you don't hold
This
truth.
is called philosophical horseshit.
How? Refute it.
I'll refute it.
Go ahead.
It. Okay. I'll refute it.
I can't wait.
Okay. I'm going to apply your same logic
Okay.
to let me think of what's the best way to
I will give
unfold
some
this.
credit to Dinesh. He had the harder position to defend. And usually that's me. So credit where it's due. It's a much harder position to defend that there is some moral obligation versus saying that there's not. So credit where credit's due. With that said, I kicked your ass in this debate bad because you never established a single moral ought or reason why it is that Christians have an obligation to support Jews or Israel. In fact, I got...